All right, let's jump right in. For today's deep dive, we're going to be tackling something that can, completely ruin an otherwise perfect vocal take.
Sibilance.
Sibilance, exactly, those really harsh S and T sounds. We're going to be looking at a pretty legendary piece of hardware designed to fix it, the DBX520 De-Esser.
And it's such a headache for engineers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because any material that's dense with high-frequency sound can just jump out of a mix. The real challenge, though, is when the singer's volume is all over the place.
Right.
And that's where the DBX520, which is based on the legendary DBX902, really shines.
And it's a 500 series module, which for those of you building out a studio, that means it's made to slot right into a professional rack. You can just build your perfect signal chain.
Yeah, and I guess the aha moment with this unit, what makes it so special, is how it handles those dynamics.
Right.
Think about it. A singer goes from a quiet verse to a really loud chorus. That can be a 40, maybe 50 dB jump.
Yeah.
With most processors, you, the engineer, has to ride the controls to compensate.
You're manually adjusting for it.
Exactly. But the 520, it gives you the exact same amount of de-essing no matter what the input level is.
That sounds like magic. How does it actually do that? What's the trick to staying so consistent when the volume is changing so much?
It's all about comparison. The unit is constantly looking at the difference in decibel.
In ABB.
Right,
Yeah.
in dB, between the high-frequency part of the sound and the entire full bandwidth signal. Compares the two instead of just looking at an overall volume threshold.
So let me get this straight. You're telling me a vocalist can go from a whisper to a full-on shout, and this thing will apply the same proportional de-essing without me touching a single knob.
That's it, precisely. It can track signals that change by as much as 60 dB. That huge window means it works consistently across a massive professional input range. We're talking from a super quiet mana 40 dBO up to a really hot plus 22 dBO.
Wow, so you just set the amount of reduction you want and it handles the rest.
It really saves you a ton of time in a mix.
Okay, let's get into the actual controls then. You've got the frequency control, which lets you find that exact crossover point for the sibilance, anywhere from 800 hertz to 8K.
And that's key, finding the exact spot.
Yeah, and you can dial in up to 20 dB of reduction, which is a lot. I also like that HF mode switch. It lets you listen to only the high frequencies it's working on.
Which is just essential for making sure you're targeting the problem and not, gutting the whole vocal.
Right.
And while we're so focused on vocals, it's not just for that. This thing is fantastic for controlling the inaudible from a hi-hat that's bleeding into a snare mic.
Oh, I could see that. Or taming harsh cymbals.
Cymbals, percussion, even reverb tails that get a little too bright and nasty. It handles all of it.
And for the real tech nerds listening, the crossover filter itself is a clean 12 dBB per octave slope, and it's phase coherent.
Which is so important. No weird timing smear or artifacts that you can get from older gear. It keeps the sound really natural.
You monitor it all on that nice big LED gain reduction meter, too.
And the dynamic range is great, over 114 dB, so you've got tons of headroom. Really, the whole point is to get that brilliant, crisp audio, vocals, instruments, whatever, without the harshness.
Yeah.
And to do it fast.
So it's about getting that legacy precision, but with modern reliability.
Exactly. And that actually brings me to a final thought for you to chew on. The DBX520's attack and release times are program dependent.
Meaning the box itself decides how fast to react based on the sound coming in.
Right. So my question for you is this. How does relying on the hardware's own logic like that change your role creatively as a mixing engineer? What do you gain in speed versus maybe what you lose in that absolute microcontrol you'd have doing it all manually? Something to think about.